Hello, friends. Welcome back for another week of Pop Culture Fuck, Marry, Kill. It's our first one of 2020.
That's right. 2020 is coming in hot, and we're very excited this week, you guys, because guess what? It's another theme episode. You know how much we love theme episodes here. This is a very special edition of Pop Culture FMK because this is our Golden Globes recap. You know the Golden Globes. It's like the drunk uncle of award shows.
The fun drunk uncle.
Yeah, no. It's definitely fun. Somewhat of a black sheep.
But really, let's just be really real. Rickey Gervais is what makes it the tits.
I guess. Well, also, all the celebs get drunk because they're serving booze
Sure.
throughout the show.
Yeah.
Also, there are lots of the fuck.
And it's also not very important. So, like...
Totally. You
just
can blow it off.
Yeah.
Brush it off.
Yep.
Sure, Golden Globes. That's fine. There's a lot of that.
It's like sophomore year prom.
Totally. So it's fun, but not important. Forgettable. I thought it would be fun if we started our Golden Globes recap episode by picking our best dressed. Now, we're not going to do worst dressed because I think that's kind of mean.
Also, I was looking, like, the people that would classically be considered worst dressed, it's like, fuck anybody who puts them on a worst dress list. Because if you saw them in the grocery store, they look fucking more spectacular than anybody else you know. So, like, just fuck off with that, right?
Yeah. Also, I actually think that, like, pretty much everybody looked amazing. There's one person who I think was a very big disappointment. Jennifer Lopez. But I don't think she looked bad. Nobody looked bad. I don't think anyone was worse dressed. So all that to say, we're gonna pick our best dressed. One person, not a list, just our
one, our ride or die.
Our ride or die best dressed from the 2020 Golden Globes. Kristen, you go first.
Cool. So you said you thought you'd know who mine was, and I said I didn't know who mine was because there were so many that I liked. But then I kind of settled on someone, and I really hope you know me this well. Zoe Kravitz.
No!
With the white and black polka dots.
The polka dots.
And then, like, her hair, short, very, like, Audrey Hepburn.
Yes.
You know, very, like, pixie. It was gorgeous. Loved the whole look. I loved how original it was without being too weird. Like, it was sophisticated but very distinctive.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I thought she looked cute and sexy and dreamy and punk at the same time.
Yep.
Love her.
Yeah.
Also, that is not who I thought you were going to pick.
Oh,
I thought for sure you were going to pick Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, because the dad ass?
Yeah. Dad ass, dad abs, dad jewelry.
I mean, I'll take her bod, without any of the work. I know she works out like 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
But no, Gwyneth Paltrow was wearing a very, like, if you took everything that didn't make her Oscars dress the year that she won, that was like a see-through weird thing. Was also a see-through weird thing, but it was perfect. It was.
Yeah,
It was beautiful.
It was long-sleeved to the ground, completely see-through, brown, like lace type tulle.
Yeah.
And she had on 2 gigantic Bulgari diamond necklaces, and you could see her abs, and she looked spectacular.
Yeah.
And when she turned around, you could see her ass, and I was just like, hot damn.
Yeah.
I thought for sure you were going to pick her.
No, yeah.
I'm glad you didn't, because that's very unexpected. I like that you picked Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah. How about you, Brandi? What about you?
So my pick for best dressed is Zoe Deutsch, who is, if you're wondering who that is,
not even on my list of, like, loves.
Yeah, so she was wearing, Zoe Deutsch stars in The Politician. You may also remember her from Zombieland 2. She played the ditzy blonde girl. She's also Leah Thompson's daughter. She's been in a bunch of stuff. You'd recognize her if you looked her up. She's actually very funny, very charming actress. She was wearing this gigantic yellow, giant-sleeved, giant-legged jumpsuit. It was not a dress. It was actually a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Plunging V, and she had these, like, blue jeweled earrings and this diamond and blue jewel. Looks like a Heart of the Ocean throwback necklace that went all the way down in her deep V, and this, like, wet, slicked back hair. And she just walked out, and I was, like, drooling. I could not get over that yellow. Nobody else was wearing that yellow. It was, like, lots of jewel tones, lots of whites, reds, greens, of course, a lot of black. But, like, that yellow just, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't get over it. Like, I cannot stop looking at pictures of her on Instagram.
Yeah. I do remember that one now, and I did enjoy it very much. I would have thought you would have picked Anna de Armas.
So she's my number 2.
Ah, okay.
That liquid sapphire, almost black.
Yeah, a very like traditional, like 1950s silhouette, but like with a really modern, high lux fabric.
Yeah, she's my number 2.
All right.
But yeah,
Cool.
we'll post photos of these on our Instagram, so you can drool over them yourselves if you hadn't seen them already. But good pick.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. So
Let's
ready to get on with it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Pop Culture Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Every episode, we'll be breaking down the good, the best, and the absolute trash in pop culture and decide whether we want to fuck, marry, or kill them.
We won't ever be fuck, marry, or killing any people because we're classy bitches, but all the stuff we're consuming way too much of in the pop culture stratosphere.
It's the classic game you know and love, but this time it's got a spicy pop culture twist.
We're your hosts. I'm Kristen Gunn.
And I'm Brandi Johnson, and this is Pop Culture Fuck, Marry, Kill.
This episode of Pop Culture Fuck, Marry, Kill is brought to you by My Grandma Nana's IRA. Thanks, Nana, for saving your post-depression pennies and leaving me with enough money to get a liberal arts degree from a private college, then half-heartedly follow my dreams of becoming a filmmaker, not succeed, and start a podcast. Because Grandma Nana's IRA money won't last forever, if you'd like to sponsor Pop Culture Fuck, Marry, Kill, reach out to us at 805-628-BOOP, B-O-O-P. That's 805-628-2667. And we're back. All right, let's get into it, shall we? It's time for our first award. Brandi, what's in the envelope?
My fuck is actually the speech that Michelle Williams made.
Oh, okay. Not what I would have guessed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
Of Busy Phillips' friend fame. Just kidding. Of many, many good things fame. She won for Fosse Verdon. And everybody was sort of expecting her to win and hoping that she would because she sort of, in the last few years, made this show of herself to come out when she wins awards and make kind of a grand statement when she wins.
And she's like the people's princess after what happened with her not getting paid the same amount of money to do the reshoots for the trash Kevin Spacey movie.
Right.
Yeah. So like everybody's rooting for her. Don't hurt our Michelle Williams.
Yeah, she is a bit of this sort of like fragile glass princess, a little.
Yeah, no,
but
sure.
That's why I wanted to fuck this speech so much because her past speeches, although they have been wonderful and powerful and just as charming too, this one you could tell was calculated as fuck. She got up there to win. She got up there to accept for Fosse Verdon, and she was like, "Thank you so much. I appreciate this. This is great. However, I'm really here to talk about reproductive rights. Thank you very much." And she gave this huge spiel about a woman's right to choose and essentially gave a speech about how she got to where she is now because she probably had an abortion at some point. That's what she was alluding to. And how important it is to be able to make choices for yourself as a woman and how important it is to vote. And it was so well spoken and obviously so calculated that I just sort of saw her a little differently than this sort of kind of like pixie fragile person. I still think she's kind of but like this particular speech just like really waylaid me. And they like cut to a bunch of women in the audience and, you know, they all were just sort of, you know, I think kind of awestruck by what she was saying. And there were a lot of nods and I just loved that. And there were some times they got to the audience where there were men in the back of shots of people like Toni Collette or Amy Poehler or whoever, and like there was one, and I'll have to find the GIF, but like it's a no-name guy. He's probably like a producer or something, and he like puts his hand to his head and just sort of like rubs his eyebrow, and you can tell that he's like, oh fuck, not this again. And I actually felt like that reaction moment like just sums up like where we are even, and that's why I love this speech even more. And I want to play just a little bit of it here.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the acknowledgement of the choices I've made, and I'm also grateful to have lived at a moment in our society where choice exists, because as women and as girls, things can happen to our bodies that are not our choice. I've tried my very best to live a life of my own making, not just a series of events that happened to me, but one that I could stand back and look at and recognize my handwriting all over, sometimes messy and scrawling, sometimes careful and precise, but one that I had carved with my own hand, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without employing a woman's right to choose.
It goes on for another minute and a half after that. And I particularly liked the Tiffany Haddish preach in the background. So I thought that was a nice touch. But you should really do yourself a favor. And if you didn't catch it, you should catch it. So my fuck this week, because it just sort of sparked a fire in me the moment that it happened, was Michelle Williams giving a really tremendous acceptance speech for Best Actress in a Limited Series for Fosse Verdon.
I love it. I think it's great when you have someone saying something really powerful, but they're saying it quietly.
So calm and so quiet.
Yeah, with her little bird bones.
Exactly. This little mew, but like speaking such power.
Yeah. Love it.
All right. And the award goes to
your favorite human, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, for her fuck Obama joke.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad this is on our list.
Yeah. So I was actually certain we would have the same fuck, because that was what I would have guessed you would have put down.
So close. It was so close.
So let's play it real quick if people haven't heard it.
Personally, I'd like to also thank Obama for putting us on his list. And as some of you may know, he's always been on mine. And if you don't get that joke, please watch season 1 of Fleabag really, really quickly. Okay, thank you so much. This means the world to us. Thank you. Good night.
So the background on that is, spoiler alert, in the first season of Fleabag, her character is masturbating to, is it the State of the Union speech? Or like one of Obama's...
I think it's like a supercut of him giving speeches.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was Obama giving speeches,
Yeah.
right? And it's just like, it's perfection. And so then Obama, at some point, reciprocated by putting Fleabag as his favorite show of the year. So love the little smile and the wink and the nod. Totally, peak Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Love it.
Yeah, peak Phoebe. And also, like, we talked about Phoebe being a comedy weirdo, was one of my fucks for our 2019 recap. And so very, very happy to see Fleabag getting all the love.
Yeah.
Also, justice for Hot Priest. The end. Okay, moving on to our Marys of the 2020 Golden Globes.
All right, Brandi, I have the envelope. What is your Mary of the Golden Globes 2020?
So it's another speech,
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
But look, Tom Hanks gives a good speech.
Yep.
Let's just give him that.
Yep.
I watched that montage and fell into a puddle of my own feelings, like I'm sure the rest of the world did. And then I just sat in those feelings for a while. What a good fucking montage.
I was literally thinking that would be the best job. Like I edit stuff on an occasion, and like when you're editing something that's got that pump up music or like whatever, it like you can't help but feel the things that you're editing. And so like to be able to edit that for like a week, like what a treat.
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly. So great montage. We all love Tom Hanks. He does honestly seem like the most genuine fucking guy on the planet. But my Mary this week is not just Tom Hanks or the speech. It's a very specific part of his speech in which he talks about the craft and specifically showing up on time. And I want to play that here, and then I can talk a little bit more about it.
All right. I forgot. I don't even remember that part.
It with some direction. And as Charlize might know, and some of the other people who have worked with us through the Playtone galaxy of stars, showing up on time is one of the greatest liberating acts you can give yourself in a movie. That means those people with radios in the ears don't need to knock on your door and say they're ready for you. You're actually already ready, and you have the liberty and you have the freedom of being there early enough to settle down, because when the time comes, you have to hit the marks and you have to go there.
So the reason I liked that specific clip is because, and I'm totally projecting here, this is what I interpret that part of his speech to mean. But for me, when I heard that, it sounds like Tom is sort of saying that, like, you work hard, you're kind, you do your job well, and, like, you can go really far. And, like, collaboration is a really big part of making movies, and really any job, but definitely making movies. And, like, if everybody, like, does what they're asked and shows up and works hard, like, you can make magic. And there's no time for fucking complicated geniuses who show up late and they're so difficult to work with, but they're such geniuses. I don't...
Christian Bale, Walking Phoenix.
Exactly. I don't have time for that. Nobody has time for that. And it was particularly timely because later on in the telecast, spoiler alert, if you don't know this already, Joaquin Phoenix wins for Joker, and he gives this rambling speech in which he, in one of many things that he talks about, including like vegetarian food and whatnot, is that, you know, I've made mistakes and I've been given second chances and I haven't always been easy to work with. And it's like, cool. It's really awesome to see guys like that who are impossible to work with get 1,000 chances when it's like so impossible for a woman to get one chance, right? Yeah. And so I took this part of his speech. I loved his speech so much, and like that's why I want to marry it, because like it was just so genuine. It was so thought out and just so beautiful, and the way that he just sort of like, you know, harkened back to old Hollywood and people that he's worked with and people that he loved and movies that he's been in and loved, but everything about it just made me just like weep with emotion. But I like this because I feel like it was a indirect call out to like, you can just be nice and good at your job and be just as successful, and people will like you and love you for it a lot more than putting up with these shithole quote geniuses. Like, we don't have to put up with that shit. And I just really, really resonated with that, and I liked it a lot.
So you don't buy the rumors that he's actually like a secret dick and like that's the industry?
Nope, I don't.
Yeah.
There's no way. I'm sorry.
I did think it was really funny. My favorite reaction gif out of the entire thing was his reaction at the beginning to the Rickey Gervais
oh my God,
Jeffrey
yes.
Epstein joke. Like, fucking amazing.
Oh yes, like on loop.
Yeah.
So that's my Mary.
I love it. I love your Mary, Brandi. Yeah, I would say this year the Golden Globe speeches were very telling of, like, they were a good divining rod of people, right? So you got Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who's yucking it up and making things really fucking funny, and you got Michelle Williams, who's, you know, with her little hollow bird bones, you know, dropping some truth bombs, and you got Tom Hanks, who's just like America's sweetheart, and then you have my Mary, which was Kate McKinnon's tribute to Ellen. Yes. I mean, also Ellen's speech was also a gem as well. Yeah. It was classic Ellen with the, you know, the mild yucks, but Kate McKinnon, who you don't see her sincere, right? You never, like, she is a comedy genius. Back when she was just a bit player on SNL, I was like, I love this woman. She is so fucking funny, and I really hope she has a time to shine on SNL, and obviously she has. And then seeing her give such an amazing and profound tribute to Ellen was where I was just in a puddle on the floor. Let's listen to a little bit of it.
Sure.
A sense of self. I have to explain that one more. In 1997, when Ellen's sitcom was at the height of its popularity, I was in my mother's basement lifting weights in front of the mirror and thinking, am I gay? And I was. And I still am. But that's a very scary thing to suddenly know about yourself. It's sort of like doing 23andMe and discovering that you have alien DNA. And the only thing that made it less scary was seeing Ellen on TV.
Yeah, and then she goes on to close the alien DNA thing. Kind of like got a record scratch in the audience, but then she closes the loop on that joke later, which pays off really well. So, if you haven't seen the whole thing, Google it. It's a tearjerker too. It gives me all the feels.
Yeah, it really is. Like watching it, I've watched it actually a couple times today because I just loved that. I love that part that we just watched, but the whole thing is good. And the cut back and forth between Kate and Ellen of them both trying not to cry so hard is so moving and endearing. Like they're just both trying to be so stoic, and it's just like, let it flow, girl. Let it go. Both of y'all, just let it go.
I will say one thing that was a funny takeaway for me is when Ellen gets up to receive her award, and obviously she thanks Kate for the introduction. She's like, I know these things are the worst, and I hate doing them. And I was like, oh damn, I want to go back and look and see when she's had to give a tribute to somebody and know she hated doing it, and that'll be really funny for me.
I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was very funny when she thanked her husband.
I didn't understand that. Who's Harv or who's what? Whatever.
It's no one.
She just made
like,
a name.
Yeah, she was just
okay.
That.
I thought it was a specific. I was like, this is such a deep cut. I don't even know what it is, but everybody's laughing. Okay, it was just a random guy.
Yeah, she was just thinking a hetero.
Yeah, got it. Cool.
Very good pick, and again, our choices have just been ships passing in the night because
it's a good thing there's two of us to cover all the bases.
It's true.
All right, now we're on to the kills of the 2020 Golden Globes. Brandi, what's an envelope?
Okay. It's a really big envelope. I'm sorry, but
it's one of those big, Walgreens novelty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot to kill.
All right.
It's a hefty one. So, in particular, for the 2020 Golden Globes, I want to kill the HFPA. That's the Hollywood Foreign Press. It's the voting body of the Golden Globes. It's who picks the winners. And they're hard on for shitty biopics and musicals and or war movies.
Yeah, sure.
So, like I said, it's a big category. So, Taron Egerton wins for Rocketman. Okay. Last year we get Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Why didn't he give the award? Don't they normally do that? The previous award recipient gives the award?
They definitely do that for the Oscars. I don't know that that's historically how they've always done it for the Globes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Renee Zellweger wins for Judy. And then...
Do we need to pray for her? I don't want to say anything, but do we need
we
to pray?
will light a candle after this podcast.
Great.
For sure. And then you get 1917 in what everyone is saying is kind of a surprise upset, taking home the Best Drama Prize. And here's what I got to say. We understand that real people have lived and made music. Congratulations. Quit rewarding shitty movies about these people. They can just be movies. You don't have to give awards every time somebody plays a real person who's also made music.
Yeah.
And usually, and this is the case for Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's what I've heard is the case. I will definitely say here, I have not seen Rocketman. I did not want to because I have seen that movie. I have seen a musical biopic before.
Yeah.
Also, Bohemian Rhapsody came out last year, and while I'm not saying they're the same thing, if you've seen a musical biopic, like that, you've seen a musical biopic.
I mean, it's the deep impact to the Armageddon.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm sure the producers of
they were kicking themselves.
They were like, fuck
they got
you.
to it first.
Yeah.
So what happens is they reward an actor who they say they are so good, but the movie's just so-so.
Right.
And that has got to stop. Like, why can't you just, I don't know, give an award to someone who does a phenomenal job and the movie is also phenomenal? If the movie is kind of a shithole, but the person is great, well, okay, but like the movie was shit.
Yeah.
Like, stop doing this.
It goes to the momentum of perceived prestige, right?
Yeah.
We vote for male genius movies because we've always voted for male genius movies, right? You know, the reason why we see war movies as being more important is because of the momentum of that prestige. It's like what we were talking about last episode with Jane the Virgin versus something like a Game of Thrones, right? Game of Thrones is bound to win more awards for the mere fact that it feels very special and important, because those are the types of things we've deemed to be special and important. And I'm ready to see that evolve. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so happy about things like Phoebe Waller-Bridge being, lifted up on a pedestal. It's like, yes, we need more of that, right? We need more of these nuanced, interesting stories being told that aren't the same thing over and over and over again. So I am 1,000% here for your kill.
Like, yeah, I just kind of can't get over it. And like, again, I will also say I have not seen 1917. It has not opened wide here. It opens in like, I think a week. I don't doubt that it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But have we seen white guys at war, and have we rewarded those movies a bunch of fucking times? Yeah.
Like every award season.
Like every fucking award season.
Yeah.
And think about the other movies that came out this year. Heaven fucking forbid we don't reward that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, Golden Globes are stupid and they often are notorious for just doing kind of wild card things. But like 1917, I think actually has a lot of momentum going into the Oscars now because of this win. And it bums me out because I'm just like, how boring is that? If only these award shows rewarded the new and exciting good thing. Think about the movies that would have won or could win, and
yeah.
Like, don't even like I can't even get started on Globe So White, Globe So Male.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole other kill. I could double barrel kills.
Well, so not to put you on the spot, but if you had to pick something to be in the, best of whatever race or to win that wasn't even considered, what would you put in there?
Good question. Well, I think the best picture of the year is Parasite.
Yeah.
I think it's going to win Best Foreign Film, and because it won't even be considered for Best. I mean, it'll be nominated for Best Picture, but it will be overlooked because it is a foreign language film.
Yeah.
And I loved what the director Bong Joon-ho said, which is like, once you overcome that 1-inch barrier of subtitles, you can be like opened up to a world of new, beautiful things. And it's like, that's so fucking true. And I get why there's a foreign language category and a Best Picture category, but like, I sort of wish that there was, because like it lets those foreign language films have a voice that they probably wouldn't get.
Right.
But I sort of wish that it didn't, because then they could just be part of the overall Best Picture category.
Yeah.
I think that's the Best Picture of the year. And then don't even get me started on how snubbed Little Woman has been. I thought it was beautiful, and I don't think that it deserves Best Picture of the year, but I think it deserves to be in the conversation, and it isn't.
Yeah. I actually wasn't expecting to like Little Women. I'm kind of tired of the story, and I thought Greta Gerwig, it spoke to what a good director she is, that she was able to take something that, quite frankly, when you read the source material, it is a playbook for like women getting married, right? Like the second half of the book is like they all end up getting married, and it's very, for as the feminist anthem that it's become, that's not really the source material. But she did a really good job of masterfully making it an interesting, fun story, and I thought the casting was on
right
point.
And it shows what a good writer she is too.
Yep.
And she wasn't nominated in screenplay, and she wasn't nominated in directing.
Yeah. And normally you'd give the best adapted screenplay as like a consolation prize, right? Like
Basically.
It's like, oh, we're not going to give this to you as a director, so we'll give you the consolation prize of best adapted screenplay.
Right.
Yeah.
So overall, my kill is like the HFPA can suck a dick as far as I'm concerned because they've got a hard on for.
And they've got a lot of white dicks to choose from.
They do. They do. White guys singing, white guys fighting, white guys dancing. Take your pick. Kristen, what is your fuck of the Golden Globes 2020?
Oh my God. Okay. It was really hard for me to pick one. Like, it was really hard for me to pick one. In fact, I'm still looking at my list, and I mean, it's just a murderer's row of kill for me.
Well, don't worry. We've got honorable mentions.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go big as well.
Okay.
I'm really tired of the first thing out of the winner's fucking mouth being, we're all so good and I'm just not worthy. Blah, 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 blah. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, like nobody believes your modest, like your faux modesty bullshit, right? And like, I think there's a really great example from a couple of years ago, and this was one of the Globes. This was the Oscars when Meryl Streep won for playing Margaret Thatcher. Anyway, everybody thought somebody else was going to win, and then she wins, and she goes up there, and she's like, well, oh well, and then she just starts giving her speech, and I was like, that's the way you fucking do it, right? Like, none of this false modesty bullshit. Just say, you know what, thank you, and move on. That said, I will say, to kind of contradict that point, what Quentin Tarantino did is the exception that disproves my rule, right? So when he got up to give his acceptance speech for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he literally, it was for writing, and he literally said, well, you know, normally with writing, there's nobody to thank because I wrote this myself. And then literally you could hear people in the audience be like, ugh. And also he says it in his weird, like, you know, on the spectrum way where it's like, it could have been funny maybe if like Paul Rudd had said it, but like, because he said it, it's just really like
sharp and
like kind of like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to say, but because I have such a great cast, it really was because of everybody else. But like it was like he was just verbally falling down the stairs the entire speech. and
if
then
only.
And then at the very end, he's like, and I just want to thank Margot Robbie for her, and there's this like pregnant pause, and it's like, tits? What are you gonna say? And he's like, her goodness. And I'm like, what a fucking weirdo. What a fucking weirdo. Like, goodness is like, you know, when Jim Carrey is in Liar Liar struggling in the elevator to say that everybody's being nice because your boobs are huge. Like, that's just like, dude. Like, in any case, I'm ready to see that we're all good and I'm not worthy die, but I think there is a more masterful way of doing it than what Quentin Tarantino did.
I'm really glad you picked that because it was on the cutting room floor for me as a kill, and because he also accepted for when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won for Best Picture,
but he made his producer
musical
talk.
or comedy.
Yeah, which it was neither of those things.
Correct. Another gripe that I have with the Hollywood Foreign Press. And yeah, it was just like, yeah, I thought many times about his acceptance speech for the screenplay, and it was basically like, I don't have anyone to thank except myself, but great cast and also me, so.
And me and Margot are totally fucking.
Cool.
At least in my mind.
Also, I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
So, bye. It was fucking weird. Very good pick, though. I'm really glad you picked it. Okay, so those are our FMKs at large for the 2020 Golden Globes. Okay, so did we miss your Golden Globes? Fuck, marry, or kill? Please give us a call and let us have it. Our phone number is 805-628-BOOP. That's 805-628-2667. And we might just play it on the show.
Boop.
Okay, so obviously we mentioned earlier we had a hard time narrowing it down, so we're going to rapid fire some of our honorable mentions for the Golden Globes. It was a busy night. It was like a 4-hour-long telecast, so we're going to go back and forth. We're going to start with Kristen.
Okay, so I have to fuck Brad Pitt. Comment.
Thank you.
I would have shared the raft, Leo. And also the mom joke of any date he brings, people assume they're dating, and so that's why he can't bring his mom. On point. Why can someone be humanly allowed to have those abs and also that sense of humor? Not cool.
And that face with those sunglasses.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Also, he called Leonardo DiCaprio LDC, and I laughed so hard. Like, I was like, what? Where are we? Very good pick. Second that. Okay. I have to kill the little bit for the presentation for Best Original Song, which had Ansel Elgort, future star of Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, also star of Baby Driver, come out and sing the introduction for Best Original Song, and then he started applauding himself while he was still singing. And
Aww.
yeah, I forget which actress it was that was out there with him. But,
Dakota Fanning.
oh, she looked mortified. And I was just like aghast. And also I was just like, God, if this is what awaits us for West Side Story, fuck off.
I really think what happened was they didn't show up at rehearsals, and then they walk out and it says, what's his fucking face? What's his name?
Ansel Elgort.
Ansel sings, and now here's the awards or whatever, because they both like reacted, right?
Yeah,
like they
yeah.
reacted like that they hadn't seen that before.
Fair.
And then he was like, oh, okay, I guess, you know.
It's totally fair. And honestly, I would have hated it still if he had sang and not applauded. But the fact that he applauded himself while he was still singing makes me want to murder him. So, yeah, gotta kill it.
I think I'm going to start applauding myself all the time.
Start?
Fair point. Okay, so I haven't watched a lot of commercials in the last, 5 years.
Sure.
But because I was watching this live on Hulu, I had to watch a lot of commercials. And so this fuck has nothing to do with the Golden Globes, but with something I saw in a commercial. I want to fuck the fact that the soup is coming back on E! And it's coming back with a woman named Jade Catapreta. And she seems really fucking funny. I'm sure I butchered her name, but like she seems amazing. I'm totally here for that show.
Okay, so I like just caught the tail end of that commercial and I was like, wait, is that the soup but with a lady? And then I never saw that commercial again.
Yeah. She looks like Bizarro World Whitney Cummings, but like I don't really care. I'm like medium about her, and this commercial was like on point good. So I'm excited for that
Was
show.
it the one it had noodles? She had noodles being thrown on her head.
I don't remember the noodles, but that's fine.
I feel like there were definitely noodles, but I'm into that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I want to fuck all of the audience reactions to the Rickey Gervais monologue.
Oh my god! The fact that we haven't talked about him yet, like
Yeah.
on point. Only watch the show because of him, essentially at this point.
So I didn't love him as much as you loved him. We have not talked about him at length here.
Yeah.
I thought he had a few real nasty, amazing zingers in his monologue. Beyond that, I thought his sort of like apathetic affect was a little draining, but he was vicious in his monologue. And some of those initial jokes, I was like, whoa, 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 shots fired.
I think he was a little dialed down this year, actually. I think people liked him more because in other years he's been like, other than the Judi Dench pussy licking thing, like there wasn't really anything that he said that was like awful.
Oh, the Jeffrey Epstein thing was pretty rough. Also, he made a joke about them being friends and letting the Harvey Weinstein thing happen, and I thought people's heads were going to explode.
Well, people needed to hear that.
They did, and
Yeah.
that's one of the ones
Yeah.
that I liked.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I actually thought the Jeffrey Epstein thing was also kind of funny.
Yeah.
But the cut reactions to his monologue,
Yeah.
because like some of them were just chef's kiss. So like you said, Tom Hanks, Gwyneth Paltrow was living for it.
Oh,
She was laughing her ass off.
Her reaction to the Judi Dench licking her own pussy, like that was funnier because of her reaction.
Oh, totally,
right?
totally.
Yeah.
And in particular, they kept cutting to Lauren Graham, and she actually looked like she would rather die than be there, which I thought was so interesting because Lauren Graham is such a funny person.
Yeah.
But just in general, the audience reactions to the monologue, I will live on those GIFs for a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What a buffet to munch on.
Yeah.
I also, another commercial, want to fuck. I just want to fuck anybody. This is kind of personal. Anybody who lives in the sweet, naive universe where Amber Heard uses L'Oreal hair color. So Amber Heard is now the spokeswoman for L'Oreal Box hair color. And, so she's like, this was like I don't know if, because it's live, if it was, ad retargeted because I'm like a white lady or.
No,
if,
I saw that ad.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're a white lady too. But, I don't know if that was what everybody saw across the nation.
Sure.
I hope so, because it's just so sweet that anybody would think that Amber Heard, who has all of her Johnny Depp money, would ever use $5 box hair color. And it makes me happy that there are people that sweet and naive in the world.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Yeah, but I guess Amber Heard's got to do something.
Oh, hey, take your money, girl. Take your money.
Yeah.
All right. You have any others?
I do. So I want to marry Olivia Colman's acceptance speech. She continues to give very good acceptance speeches. She's just so goddamn charming. And usually, like you said, that faux, oh, I had no idea this was going to happen. I didn't even prepare for this. Like, that shit I hate. But there's something about her that, and it starts from when they announce her name and they cut to her in the audience. She legit is like,
She's
what?
like a Sims character running into walls.
Yeah, she's like,
She's a bit
oh,
tonk,
she's like,
tonk.
oh, no, what, me? No, I'm not Olivia. Are you Olivia? Like, it's just a crazy thing, and she just gets up there and gives the cutest, absolute most charming speech, and I remember her Oscar speech just being just one of the absolute greatest, and I just want to just kiss her on the mouth, and she's just adorable, and I love her.
Yeah. No, she gets a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's written in the contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my last kill is we haven't really talked a lot about winners or losers too much, and who got snubbed and who deserved what they got.
Because again, who cares?
Yeah. We're here for the snark. So the one I will say that because I'm really on a Killing Eve kick right now, and so Jodie Comer is the villain in Killing Eve and is fucking resplendent. Like, it is just masterful work. And the fact that I think a lot of people in that category were good, but the fact that she didn't win just personally makes me a little sad on the inside.
I agree. I don't think Jodie Comer is getting the recognition that she deserves for that show.
No. It's it's a personal kill of mine is wafy supermodels that play badass bitches. Like, you remember that movie Domino with Keira Knightley, holding a Uzi, and the Uzi weighs more than she does, and it's just so fucking unbelievable. Or really any
or
of those.
Lucy with Scarlett Johansson.
Right. And Scarlett Johansson's 5'2",
Yeah.
and I could flick her and she'd fly.
Yeah.
But not that I would. I'm not that person to ladies, but. Point taken, right?
I would definitely flick Scarlett Johansson.
Well, I digress. Jodie Comer is someone who, from the moment you were introduced to her as the villain in Killing Eve, she is fucking scary. She is fucking believable, and she doesn't take traditional choices with I'm a Psycho. Like, some of the stuff that she does is so playful and silly and cute, and makes it really scary, right? Like, there are times in that movie, in that show where I am legit scared for characters, right? Because it feels like there's omnipresent danger when she's around. And so, yeah, she's my one big snub, I feel like.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Also, her dress. Oh, that big green, poofy arms, high neck.
I don't remember it.
Oh, you gotta look up a photo.
Yeah.
It's to die. I have one last one, and it's a fuck, and it is we talked about the Ansel Elgort one, but the bits with the celebrities that are paired up when they come out to present awards, any award show, they're almost always absolute hot trash.
Can I guess what you're gonna say?
You can try to guess.
Is it Pierce Brosnan and Will Ferrell?
It is not.
Oh, okay. All right.
But that actually was an okay one.
Yeah, that was okay.
They're usually garbage.
Yeah.
And it honestly takes the right writing and the right pair for it to work. As you can see, the Ansel Elgort one didn't really work. One that I thought actually did work, and this is a little bit surprising for me because I'm not a huge Tiffany Haddish fan. Tiffany Haddish and Salma Hayek came out and presented the award for limited series and another award. They were the ones who presented the award to Michelle Williams, so they did 2 back-to-back. And they started the bit by saying that, Tiffany was like, people have said that they have a hard time listening to her and understanding our accents. And everyone was like, oh, it's going to be a bait and switch because Salma Hayek started understanding. And Tiffany was like, so I have been working on my pronunciation. She does a whole bit about how it's actually Tiffany who's hard to understand. And I was like, They had given out an award. And then they come back and Salma Hayek introduces the next award. And every word that she says is actually just like gobbledygook. She's like, and now and she just like completely makes up words and doesn't even say what she's supposed to say. And I snorted. I looked all day to try to find a clip of that presentation and I can't find it. If I can find it, I'll try to share it on Instagram. But it made me laugh so hard. And I was like, because I did not expect that.
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all. She literally just said gobbledygook. And I was like, oh, that's a good bit.
Yeah.
And it just made me really appreciate when those bits are actually good. And so I wanted to fuck that because like it made me very, very happy.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Good honorable mentions. That's it for the show this week, you guys. Thanks for listening as always. If you don't already, please be sure to subscribe to Pop Culture Fuck, Marry, Kill on Instagram, Twitter, and check us out at popculturefmk.com. And please tell one friend about the podcast this week.
All right. We're way over time tonight. Kids, go to bed.